I really need to start making my videos a day before because Tuesdays decides that all hell breaks loose. So. Seems like today I'm looking back. Well, maybe tomorrow I'll see further than my little head allows me to. Callie, it was great to see your face on Monday. I'm so glad you joined us. And so glad to have you back in my life as well. You've been a great influence right now. So, I'm happy. So, alright, my topic this week is literature. Well, I'm answering Jamie's question as well and doing my literature one. So, basically, books, I can go on forever, but I'll try to make this a little short and sweet. I love, the main series that I really love has to do with Henry VIII. Mrs. D inspired, basically, but it's by Philippa Gregory, and they did make a movie out of one of the books called The Other Boleyn Girl with Natalie Portman. There's this whole series that she's wrote, and now she's starting on War of the Roses. But it goes clear from Catherine of Aragon to Elizabeth I. And, yeah, so that was my favorite. I read that whole series. There's probably about, I don't know, 8 books in this series that she's done. And I just love it. I love the era and everything. She's got a trilogy as well that I'm on the second book of, in the middle of. I'm probably in the middle of probably about 5 books or so. So, I love books. And in the summertime I try to get it all done because during the year I'm reading textbooks and I don't really have a lot of energy to read other books. So, I've read some other stuff by her as well that I really love, The Wise Woman, things like that. But Philippa Gregory, I love her writing. The Sharing Knife is another series. I thought it was a trilogy, and I finally got to read the 3rd book, but it turns out she's making it into a series. So, The Sharing Knife was a good one. I don't really read a lot of, like, fantasy kind of books, but this one had, I thought, a pretty awesome little love story in it. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at my bookshelf, too. Then there's John Green, who has a website here, or YouTube here on YouTube with his brother, and I read Paper Towns, and that was an amazing book, and I want to keep reading more of his stuff, so I just got started on those. The Town That Forgot How to Breathe is one of the better creepy books that I've read, and it's not really one that's on the beaten path, and I love finding books like that you can't find really anywhere else too, or at least when you begin. That's another really great one. The True Blood series, I got started on, but if you're gonna watch the show, it's really nothing like the show, so I would say either do one or the other, or you're gonna be very confused. Hi, what are you doing? Yeah? Can you go lay down? Thanks. Alright, what else do I have? Oh, then of course, I didn't want to because I don't like jumping on bandwagons. I don't like things that are highly popular. I love finding the random stuff just everywhere. But I do love the Twilight books. I just, not necessarily because they're vampire books, but because of the story in them. How I see it, is you can experience that high school love that is just so amazing, and it doesn't seem immature because they've created this whole other world around it, and that's how I feel. And then also the second half of the 4th book inspired me to write my own book, so I'm a little into that. And I'm reading The Host right now by Stephanie Meyer, and it's completely different. If you don't like the Twilight series, I don't put off anything else that she writes, because The Host is completely different. Pretty good so far. I've only gotten to probably about like the 6th chapter or so. I'm also a very big Jane Austen fan. I haven't read all of her books, but Pride and Prejudice so far is my favorite. I'm rereading it on audiobooks when I'm working, and that's because I've got The Diary of Mr. Darcy that I'm reading, and I want to catch up on Pride and Prejudice before I go to that. So it's Mr. Darcy's view on things. So, and then I'm a big Shakespeare nerd, kinda, but my favorite Shakespeare play is Othello. Just because I love it, because he's so, it's just about love, but just loving poorly. I don't know how to explain it. I just love the tragic of the love that he has. And if you've ever seen the movie O with Josh Hartnett, it's actually based on Othello. I didn't know that when I first watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, everyone's dying! Like, all of a sudden, everyone, like, dies. Kind of crazy. And then I have to admit that Romeo and Juliet is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. I think it always will be, and it's very cliche, but I love it. I love it. His comedies are good. I love being on campus because I can go see that kind of stuff, and I love to see that. Alrighty, and I'm not going to ask a question because I asked Megan a question about what her favorite animal is, and kind of watched. I figure Callie's going to be asked a ton of questions, so okay. But Janelle, oh, you are a pain in the butt. Janelle, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.